and acceptance to record. Welcome. Thank you for joining our show today. Today, we're going to be talking about how to maximize your settlement in any case. Today, we have with us Mr. Michael Morse. He is the founder of Michael Morse Law Firm, the largest personal injury law firm in Michigan. Since the firm was founded in 1995, Michael Morse Law Firm has grown to 150 employees and served over 25,000 clients and collected more than 1 billion for victims of auto, truck, and motorcycle accidents. Malcolm has received many awards and accolades, such as Super Lawyers, Top Rated Lawyer, and many more. Let's welcome Mr. Michael to the show. How you doing, Mr. Michael?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good, good. So, have you been in Michigan all your life, or you was born and raised there?
Born and raised in Michigan, and I went to the University of Arizona for 4 years for college, but went right back to Detroit, where I did my law school career.
Great. I visited Detroit a few times before. Stayed at the MGM. Really nice place. So, tell us, how did you get started in your journey to become an attorney?
So my dad was an attorney. I grew up living in a household with an attorney, and he loved it, and he gave us a nice life, and he talked great about his clients and the judges, and we saw the passion, and it made me want to be a lawyer. And pretty much the only job I really ever wanted and pursued.
Mhm.
And that's kind of how it all began.
Okay, so in doing that in your journey becoming an attorney and you became one of the top attorneys, how did you accomplish that? What was the obstacles that were in your way, and what great achievements did you make along the way?
Well, that's a very lengthy question. I wrote a book recently
Uh-huh.
that outlined my entire journey called Fireproof.
Okay.
Uh, and it's available on Amazon and everywhere else you can buy books these days. And that kind of takes you through my journey. There's been lots of uh, bad things that happened, lots of things I've had to overcome. Um, I've been a lawyer 28 plus years, so it's a long story. It's a long journey,
Uh-huh.
but excuse me. But I started off with nothing and became the largest personal injury lawyer in Michigan. We settle 150, 160 million dollars worth of cases every year. We have 150 plus employees, so it's been quite a ride. We've had my office building is burnt down. I've been fired
Wow.
from job. I've had my largest referral source who used to send me cases stopped in the middle of the night. So the book takes you through lots of problems and lots of issues and how we dealt with it. And we came up with a 5-step model to help lawyers and other businesses predict better and
Mhm.
become more profitable. And it's number one bestseller in like 10 different categories on Amazon right now.
Oh, wow.
And just came out this year. So I'm pretty proud of that. And it's been a pretty wild year.
Oh, wow. I can imagine for a lot of us, and especially you having your book coming out this year as well. So how did you get your passion for helping people? So when you kind of figure out, I guess, the remedy, if you will, what made you want to kind of share that information with others?
I felt like it was time. I felt like, after 28 years of running a practice, we came up with some secret sauces that we wanted to share. So my COO, John Nakiel, and I wanted to share it. And so we did, and it's being well received. And a side business has actually come out of the book because law firms around the country are calling us, as well as other businesses, to coach them and try to
Awesome.
get them up to speed faster than if they tried to implement it themselves. So we now have over 12 firms that we are helping around this country
Mhm.
get better, get more predictable, more profitable, and it's it's been fun.
So you specialize in personal injury. What are some of the cases that you encounter? We hear so much of these crazy stories, but do you have any case in particular that kind of stands out to you even to this day after 20 plus years in practice?
Well, I've helped over 25,000 clients. We've collected over $1 billion. There's hundreds of amazing stories from my clients. One story that does stick out is a man named Jesus Moreno, who was riding his motorcycle lawfully on the streets of Detroit, and a bus that was driven by a incompetent bus driver who was not paying attention, who had a history of texting and videotaping while driving a city bus, ran a red light and ran over my client's head and hand. He lost his dominant hand. He had a massive brain injury. He was not even 30 years old, full-time, fully employed as a graphic artist. And he had a really horrific recovery. They ended up cutting off his hand and his brain injury treatment. And he survived. He's positive. He's loving. He got married a couple months ago, and I went to his wedding. And he's one of the most wonderful people I know. And I call him, I'm proud to call him a good friend. And we were able to get him justice and compensation, that he's able to help other people and do other great things. And that we actually made a commercial with Jesus. We ran it on the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. And if any of your listeners want to check it out, it's on my YouTube page, Mike Morse Law Firm. After YouTube, and they can find that under the commercial section. And it's a 60-second spot. Every time I see it, it brings tears to my eyes. I well up, and it's just a wonderful story.
Wow, that story is definitely amazing, man. So what do one need to do after they've been in the accident? What's like the first thing they should do after an accident has occurred?
Well, they should get the medical treatment they need. If they're able to, they should gather information at the scene of the accident, but sometimes they're not able to, depending on how injured they are. You need to know who caused the accident, insurance, take pictures, do all that stuff, or have somebody do it for you. But in Michigan, at least, and I think across this country, you need to document your pain, the suffering you went through, any injuries you have, by going to medical doctors, chiropractors, physical therapists, hospital. So those are some of the important things.
Right. So what is the most important thing of hiring a personal injury attorney, and why is that needed?
Well, you want someone with experience.
Correct.
We take over cases from 4 people who had the wrong lawyer because a lawyer didn't specialize, didn't have experience, didn't know what they were doing, trying to just make a quick buck. And so, like our firm, we don't need the next case. I mean, we can wait out until we get the right amount of money. Certain lawyers will try to settle it short, settle it cheap, just to make that fee and to move on and not care about their client. We don't do that. So you need to find a law firm that's established, that's been around a long time, that has a good reputation, that has a very good rating on Google. And it's everything in these cases. You need to have the right firm representing you.
Absolutely. How long does it normally take to settle a case on an average, which I know all cases are created different? So
the average is a year and a half.
A year and a half. So one can expect to at least settle a case a year and a half after going through treatment if that's needed, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
The question is that I have now, because I've read a little bit about it, the project you have, Project Backpack. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Project Backpack, I started 7 years ago. We started with one little school. We gave away 400 backpacks full of supplies to elementary kids in Detroit. And it warmed my heart so much that the next year we gave one to every single Detroiter, K through 5.
Wow.
There's 25,000 backpacks. And every year we've gone up. I think this year we did about 32,000. We've given away over 170,000 backpacks full of supplies. We do it every year. It's the most fun thing that I do in the year, giving back wise, and The kids appreciate it. Their parents appreciate it. We get really good
Absolutely.
feedback from the teachers and the principals, and it's great. And I have actually some friends in other cities right now, other than Detroit, who are starting to do it. I have a friend in Atlanta, in Alabama, Southern Alabama, who's doing it for the kids down there. A great law firm. Andy Citron is his name, and he's giving away 1,300 or 1,500 backpacks in
Wow, that's awesome.
January to the kids down there, and he's looking to expand. So it makes me feel really good that not only are we able to do this in Detroit, but that it's catching on in other parts of the country, and that makes me really happy and proud.
And that's awesome. That is really awesome. Um, so you've really grown a lot on social media. How did you grow your law firm on the social media platforms? What was your strategy?
Strategy was provide really good content to the viewers and the listeners, and make it fun and make it engaging, not boring. It's one of our things that we talk about in the book. We try to make our ads and our marketing and even social media the opposite of what our competitors do, the opposite of what a typical boring lawyer does. And I wanted to be anything but boring and typical. I wanted to be the Cherry Garcia
Right.
instead of the vanilla, and and people seem to like it, and people seem to engage, and I get emails and texts and messages every day about my ads, and about my mom who's in my ads, and my dog who's in my ads, and
Wow.
it's fun, because I really don't think that most lawyers who are on TV or who have a decent social media presence get a lot of positive feedback, and we do.
That's really good, especially in that particular specialized legal profession. And when they get all these bad reps, so to have a platform like that that shows positivity is actually really good. It's actually really great. What are the common mistakes that people make, mainly clients in the personal injury lawsuit? Like what are those common mistakes that they make?
Well, if they hire the right law firm, one of the common mistakes are if they don't listen to their lawyer's advice, they don't listen to the medical advice. They just kind of go out and do what they want to do, and don't listen to the professionals. So that's important. And the other one is, you got to be honest with your lawyer. When I have clients who don't tell the
Yes,
truth,
absolutely.
that's a problem, because we can't represent them that way. So, telling the truth and following the good legal advice, good medical advice, I think, are the most important ones I can think of right now.
Great. So tell us more about how we can find your information on YouTube, Facebook, and all those other social media platforms, and learn more about the things that you're doing in your community.
Well, hopefully you'll put them in your show notes. But
Absolutely.
my website is 855mikewins.com. They can email me at mike@855mikewins.com. My YouTube is youtube.com/Mike Morse Law Firm. Twitter and all that good stuff is at 855 Mike Wins. They'll be able to find me. And then they could go out and check out the book Fireproof on Amazon, which hopefully they will enjoy. And, I'd love them to connect with me, and subscribe and comment, and engage with us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Michael Morris, for joining us. Thank you for hearing us, and join us next time on Blueprint.